Video 12. Complex definition of knowledge. We have noted that simple definition of knowledge as justified true proposition is inadequate. Hence, there are methods of forming new complex forms of knowledge by combining some propositions in specific ways. Here the main methods are deduction, induction and cause-effect relation. These complex methods are used for developing the higher forms of knowledge constituting the different subjects like science, religion, art and literature. This video is devoted to the process of forming complex knowledge from out of the myriad kinds of simple propositions. Deduction. Let us first define abstract concept, which is to be contrasted with experimental facts. We have an inborn capacity to classify various natural things into certain groups or classes by observing the resemblance and difference between particular things. In this manner, we define the classes of animals such as horse, man, dog and cat. Similarly, table is a class to be distinguished from the classes of chair and coach. The class called horse consists of various particular horses. It may be emphasized here that the class horse does not exist actually. There is no average or typical horse in this world. In this situation, we can say that the names of classes are abstract concepts. We learn a lot of abstract concepts through our education process. A major part of them are kept in our memory. In the case of scientific knowledge, the following would constitute the area of abstract concepts. 1. Names and definitions of objects included in the phenomenon as we see in a dictionary. 2. Basic ideas of mathematics and logic. 3. Fundamental concepts related to the phenomenon. It includes the definition of matter, energy, space and time, as well as some related principles or laws already known. Deduction is an intellectual and logical way of thinking in terms of abstract concepts, and it is traditionally called syllogism. It has three stages, namely premise, fact and deductive conclusion. For example, we have the abstract idea or general principle that all material bodies including stars are made of atoms having mass. Hence the statement all stars have mass is a general principle called premise. The scheme of syllogism is written in the following manner. Premise: all stars have mass. Fact: sun is a star and mass is represented by weight. Deductive conclusion: therefore sun has weight. When premise and fact are combined, the conclusion follows logically. It is easily seen that the idea of conclusion is contained in the premise. Sun has weight is admittedly a new information obtained through the syllogism. Additionally, the syllogism works even if the premise is false actually. For example, consider the syllogism: all birds can fly. Emu is a bird, therefore emu can fly. Here the conclusion is reached even though premise is factually false. Ostrich and emu are two kinds of birds which cannot fly. Induction. We may simply say that induction is the process of making logical inferences on the basis of repeated experience of sensory organs, namely eye, ear, tongue, nose and skin. When a person gets impressions or signals of one or more sensory organs, certain images will be formed in mind. These images are processed using the techniques of deduction so that some inferences are obtained. We call this method as induction. Direct perception is the simplest form of induction. This pen has length of 4 inches is an example. Cause-effect relation. In the case of subjects like science and religion, the stages of deduction may be called as theory, hypothesis and deductive conclusion respectively in the place of premise, fact and deductive conclusion. Now we can state that a cause-effect relation is formed by combining the methods of deduction and induction as per the following 5 stages. 1. Theory Ty. 2. Hypothesis H. 3. Deductive conclusion D. 4. Testing T. 5. Inductive inference I. Here deduction consists of the 3 stages denoted by T, Y, H and D. The next set of 2 stages denoted by T and I would belong to the induction process. Details of the 5 stages T, Y, H, D, T and I will be presented later when we deal with the methodology of physics. In the case of scientific cause-effect relation, the set of abstract concepts as mentioned above is generally called theory. These concepts are alternatively termed as theoretical entities. Theory Ty is the most important component of deduction process. We may observe that various subjects under science have separate theories, but these are mutually related and coherent. Theories of physics are the most basic upon which theories of chemistry, biology and other divisions are proposed. Accordingly, we can see a hierarchical order in the theories of science. Interestingly, by progress of science, we mean the movement in the direction of generality. A particular theory is explained by a more general theory. Quantum theory, nuclear theory, atomic theory, relativity theory and kinetic theory are the main examples of theories under physics. The 2 stages of induction may be explained now briefly. The stage of testing consists of collecting and analyzing data by conducting experiments and observations. Then the scientist generates inductive inferences about cause-effect relation. In this way, the cause-effect relation is formulated in the 5th stage in the form of an inference. We propose to denote the 5 stages of Ty, H, D, T and I together. It is conveniently expressed as Ty, H, D, T, I scheme. Further, we can see that proposition of direct perception, for example, this is a computer, also can be covered by the method of Ty, H, D, T, I scheme. There are various forms of inferences under different areas of knowledge such as science, religion and art, but they differ mainly in the case of theory and experimental testing. This issue will be elucidated in due course. The diversity of these subjects has unity since all are following the same knowledge scheme. This indicates that the notion of cause-effect relations introduced above is the key yardstick for dividing the range of human knowledge into various subjects. Expanding the classification method based on separate sets of cause-effect relations, we can make aggregations of different levels. This will result in a hierarchical scheme of discipline as well as separate departments of knowledge such as physical science, biological science, theology, humanities, social science and so on. At the highest level, there are the kingdoms of knowledge, mainly science, religion, art, literature and philosophy. The said method is similar to the well-known classification scheme for biological organisms in the subject of biology. Please subscribe to this YouTube video series. Thank you for watching.